Dream Visions and World Events March, April, May 2022.
Greetings and trust you are well.
I have been meaning to write and put a video online now for months, if you have watched all the videos on the channel or viewed them over the past few months. You will have noticed that I have never taken a break or not put anything online for this long. As mentioned before, when I put up the first dream vision on the channel, I had no idea what dream visions or events would be fulfilled. I sit in the same position as many of you, waiting for them and then watching them being fulfilled. All glory to the Most High when the dream visions are fulfilled. I did write very long videos but could for some strange reason not put them online. I cannot explain it, it is as if something was holding me back. I have no way to describe it, but that is it. Last night after a dream vision, I had the sign once more to write, hence the video. We have a lot to discuss in this video about world events. Firstly, I am very shocked, alarmed at what I see taking place. It has nothing to do with faith but more along the lines of what the Bible mentions: the prudent see danger and take refuge. You would think that because I had the dream vision and share it with you and the world, that I would be in a different state or be able to handle it, but this is not the case. Due to what I have been shown and what is shared on this channel, man oh man, the world, those outside of this channel, those not paying attention, are going to be in a world of hurt. In case you missed it, we are now officially in World War III. If you are waiting for a newspaper to tell you, well, I have bad news, they are never going to tell you. I mentioned on the channel from the start of the lockdowns, I said we are in a state of war. Go back, watch the video I put out about the dream vision before all these lockdowns took place. I mentioned China and America will be at war. This will escalate going forward with the Taiwan issue. I mentioned a dream vision of the Chinese dumping US dollars. The lockdowns in China are basically the first sanctions China has put on China. That way, when the Chinese make their move, the West will be in such a state of decline economically speaking that their business leaders will not be able to put sanctions on them. It is the perfect thing a strategist would do. We can learn a lot from how these communists work and operate. When they want to burn everything down, burnt it down for them. When they want to break the roads for them. When they want to destroy the electricity, destroy it for them. Unless you put your communist thinking cap on, you will always lose. Call it a fire break. The way you control a fire on your farm is before it ever comes to your door. You create a fire break by burning a portion of the feld to make sure the fire can never cross it. China just lit their own feld fire, now the West cannot impose sanctions on it like they would have liked to have done, it would destroy their economies too much. As you can tell, there is no messing around with this video. I have jumped straight into events taking place, and like usual, this is written in one setting, no scripting. What you hear is what is written in one setting. As you can tell by the length of the video, to write something like this takes me 2 hours or more without the editing. So I hope what is mentioned in this video makes sense, and my voice is a bit sore and croaky today. I hope in the future it sounds a bit better. Things are moving fast. You see the fuel shortage. Was it not revealed to me that South Africa would have a fuel shortage by December 2022? I want to remind you, dear people, future leaders, you dear nation, dear South Africa, to the white tribe on the southern tip of Africa. Praise the Almighty revealed it, and it was shared with you, for you, and you were the first to know. The Almighty foretold and showed me the famine and the signs, and you were the first to know about it, you out of all the nations on the earth, mere South African. Born to the nation, think about the chances, the odds of us witnessing all these events right here, right now, right at this moment. If any of you ever doubt the chances of all this happening, you witnessing it in your lifetime, the Almighty knew you before you were in your mother's womb. He has a place for you, He has a destiny for this nation and our people. Praise God, heed the signs, read the signs of the times and get prepared. I warned you, specifically the message dream was for South Africa. I cannot take credit for the dream vision, I simply prayed to the Most High and it was revealed. The message was for South Africa and the farmers. The subtle message within the message is, farmers, you will be taken care of, now take care of the flock, look after the sheep. I honestly am shocked at the dream visions. I am not here saying look how amazing I am. I have never and do not take credit for them. I have from day one asked you and everyone who watches these videos to praise God, the Most High. I am simply grateful that you, I and the nation get to witness the miracles. I am under no illusion about the difficulties that lay ahead, but remember, most of us are only 5 minutes at any given time from death. If you doubt it, try hold your breath for the rest of the duration of this video. This is how close we are to death on a daily basis, less than 5 minutes for most people. From this life to the next is but 300 seconds or less. When I put up the video about the famines, I was told I was being insensitive and that not everyone can afford food. I agree. If you have the means, instead of sending me a donation, buy something for our people. Help our people. I am simply the messenger, all the glory to the Most High. I am a sinner like all of you, we are all human at the end of the day. I do not make these videos making out that I am some saint or anything like that. Now the famine is on its way, I hope you are preparing. Before a single one of these lying mainstream media outlets told the world what is coming, you dear nation, dear leaders and people who have eyes and ears to hear, you had a head start. This is all part of our century of bondage that is coming to an end. You will not believe, many will doubt it, but this what you are seeing worldwide is for you, for your new century. The century of bondage for the white tribe on the southern tip of Africa came to an end in March 2020, exactly to the month foretold to me by the angel of the Most High. The angel told me that when this happens, a threat comes to Europe. I said I saw Stalin organs pointing at Britain. The first dream vision foretold all these events. Praise God the Most High that we get to see all of this. The century of bondage is coming to an end, the chains will soon hit the ground and the nation will run into our freedom. Watch and behold the works of the Almighty. You will look back in history, in the future people will look back in amazement, they will say but it could only be by the hand of the Most High. How everything fitted together perfectly, the most amazing puzzle all pointing to the nation's freedom and it not by any man's hand. Man tried to ensnare you to lock you down but God. The Most High had an entire different plan, while the birds all sang along plotting against God, the ducks, the white tribe, the Afrikaners. The boars flew out of the nest just as world peace was broken. The media lie continually about Ukraine, nothing new there. If Ukraine was winning, why the need for Finland and Sweden to join NATO? If Ukraine could take on Russia, then logically there would not even need to be NATO. This brings me to a dream vision I had 2 nights ago put on the channel. I see new Russian green tanks, brand new, larger than before, cross the borders into that region where Finland is. This is not the first dream. Last year, I saw how Latvia and Lithuania would be taken. In the dream vision, I heard the words of the seer what he said, this will be Europe's time of oppression with an oppressive atmosphere and it will also be the time of our oppression. These are the exact words which came to me while witnessing it. The entire night, the entire night it was playing out. Nothing I could do, I could not roll over and go back to sleep without the dream taking place. Usually when I have these dream visions it is an indication that not only will it happen, but this will happen a lot more suddenly than people expect it to happen. Remember the timeline dream vision, ladies and gentlemen, it said all the dreams fulfilled by December 2022. Now I said in the past and I will say it again. I do not know if this means it will all be completed by December 2022 or if it means that things are now playing out that was mentioned. At this stage, the pace at which this is picking up, it would not surprise me that we see a nuke go off. This brings me back to a previous dream vision, the previous dream vision of a media collapse, Ramaphosa on the stage alone, scared. We got a glimpse of this recently when Ramaphosa had to quickly be whisked away and taken off the stage during the Freedom Day rally or whatever rally these things were celebrating. I have had so many insights and a vision which I had which was totally amazing. It happened while I was preparing dinner, during mid-conversation on a completely different topic that it was brilliant. So clear, but where or how it fits in here, I have no idea. I will get into it at a later stage in this video. Now let's get back to Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Remember, the seer told us that something horrific is going to take place there when they are hatching a plan for us in South Africa. Turkey said they reject or have an issue with Sweden joining. They cited the fact that Sweden finances and trains PKK rebels, Kurdish rebels. Now isn't that interesting? Now we know what all these male migrants are doing in Europe. Proxy war after proxy war. Bring them in, train them up and send them off. We recently heard of refugees being sent to Rwanda and voila, wakey wakey, Bordvaka. Who is in Mozambique right now? Are you connecting the dots? Is it making sense? Is not Rwanda in Mozambique, and are not the lights going out day by day? The Titanic is sinking. But the people do not pay attention during the under of cover of darkness operation. Let me tie in some recent dreams which are playing out. You will find them in the comment section. The government would make a new offer. The offer at first is taken, but taken hesitantly, and then the nation sees how rotten the offer is. This is none other than the new land sharing deal the government put on the table. This was put out a month before the government or the leaked document was put out. During this dream I saw floods. It is written in the comment section where I posted the dream. I said I saw rivers flowing eastward towards the Northern Cape. Did we not have flood recently in Natal? The dream showed the rivers flow eastward. Perhaps from this rain in Natal it will create increasing higher river or water flow to the east. Though I know the rivers in the Northern Cape flow from the high mountains, perhaps more rain, higher rainfall in the Northern Cape. For the Boers, the Afrikaners, the farmers, I have a message. I hate to say this, I hesitate to because of the ramifications. I do not say this lightly, much like I did not take it lightly when told to tell the nation by the angel that their century of bondage and chains would come undone. God told me, and I hate to say that, in this day and age, people really think you missed your meds, or you are high, or simply a crazy person. I heard crystal clear, like I saw the famine dream, like I saw the Russian tanks rolling out. I was clearly told. The words in the dream vision, God is going to give Rhodesia to the Boers. Once they have Rhodesia, they will be even more richly rewarded with new minerals found in Rhodesia in the northern part that looks like high hills that are so high. They would be called mountains in most countries. I heard a song, I heard the voice of Steve Hofmeyr. He made a song that was an international hit. The Dutch and British, along with those in South Africa, were united, and more specifically I saw that the Dutch and British were brought to tears when they heard the song. I heard it clear as daylight. It did not have that much background music. It was comprised of 3 languages, Cape Dutch, English and Afrikaans. How this will play out, what the full meaning is, I have no idea. The song will be a time stamp in history. It will mark this age. Like the Titanic signaled the end of an era, so that song I heard and how it touched people around the world. When people hear it, they will know, like a time capsule. It captured these final years on Earth and what we are leading into. I do not know Steve Hofmeyr. I do not even know a single name of a song he has produced. I know his voice from hearing his songs and hearing him speak, but I do not know him or really know anything about him. May the Almighty give it to him. May the God put the words, the song together and give it to him. During the dream, I saw a ship set sail. A deceased relative of mine was moved by the song. I saw that the song would touch English speakers and Afrikaans speakers, that they would unite and come together so perfectly that they will be one. I see that they realize at this stage everything they have lost and everything that is now plowed under. Last night I was taken in the spirit to walk among the heathen in the cities of South Africa. I saw their spirits. I am walking among them. I see they are now more restless than ever before. Bloodshed I feel. The heathen is about to rage like never before. The violence which is coming is going to be on a different scale. I see how these lockdowns, the economic desperation is going to bring out the true self. Be prepared and on the lookout. May your eyes be opened during the day that you may have a glimpse of the true spirit and how it is changing. Do not be surprised if within the coming weeks and months you begin to hear of more cannibalism in South Africa and Southern Africa. The continual stoking of the illegals in South Africa is them doing to the illegals what they did to the locals before the 1994 elections and build up. It is how they are whipping them into a frenzy. Those illegals all come from countries where they pushed the colonizers into the sea. Remember, we have more illegals than the locals we had in 1994. The total population of the other groups in South Africa in 1994 was only 28 million. Today there are more than 28 million illegals in the country. That is a powder keg. The other one is the SASA grants. The grants are running out, and when that runs out, you better be able to run into safer locations. Today we read how America is asking Russia for a ceasefire. Now, if Russia was losing, why would America call them? I warned America, along with Britain. America, I said in the 2 dream visions about America last year, the American public will watch this, they will think the war will not spread, little do they know. Then I showed a woman I met in a bar during the dream vision what would be left of America. The seer said in the future it will be an insignificant nothing. I often wondered about that. Then in the dream vision I was shown only 25% of America is left, the rest of it was pitch black, indicating it had been destroyed. The dream showed me a hysteria would come over America. I laugh when I hear these reports and websites claiming the Russians are losing. Russia is not losing. They did in World War II what took the entire collective West to do. I told someone the other day, these European nations going up against Russia would be the same as them fighting America. Can you imagine Ukraine or Britain along with the other members trying to take on America? This is what it is like with them trying to take on Russia. I have to laugh when I see what is taking place with their failed sanctions policies against Russia. Is it not amazing, the West in all their pride and arrogance who bullied little tiny South Africa at the height of their population who were a mere 5.5 million, they bullied South Africa. Bullied Rhodesia with their sanctions, and their proudness and arrogance increased over the decades. They did it to Russia and it backfired. All these nations were fighting against us and now they are fighting each other. Does the Bible not tell us, the Almighty will turn the people on each other? We read in the Old Testament how God would cause the godless nations to turn on each other, and so we are witnessing it. I am not surprised by the dream visions. It is hard to explain it. I am not surprised, I am shocked, but at the same time I feel like I am in the twilight zone. I feel this constant uneasiness. Wait until Russia invades Finland and those nations, and when it escalates. Russia is now unloading their missiles and putting them in the northwestern portion of Europe. The dream is fulfilled. I feel we are now on the cusp of something major. Something major is about to take place on Earth. During the dream vision last night, I saw something falling from the sky, something inexplicable, and the words came to me: judgment. I saw many people, nations will see this thing or this stuff fall from the sky, they will not be able to identify it. I saw that when this falls, when people see it, they will reach out to collect it. They will rush out to catch it in their hands like people rush out to catch snow in countries where it hardly ever snows. They will be amazed, but it will be a sign of a judgment about to hit the earth. When I thought about this dream after having woken up, I thought, but why? And then my mind immediately went to the previous dream about Methuselah and the dream titled His Death Will Bring Judgment. I do not know if this is simply symbolic or literal that we will see something falling from heaven or the skies, but should it happen, you know we are in the final moments before the judgments come upon the earth. The shape of this stuff which was coming down from the skies was in the shape of a crystal. It looked like that shape and it fell like snow falls, but everyone was amazed. Like when the rains began to fall during Noah's time and the people did not realize what was happening or thinking it was surreal, so the same will happen. Were we not told, as in the days of Noah? Many things will happen on earth and are going to happen. I pray the Almighty may sit and judge us only then, when the Alpha and the Omega is sitting on his mountains, judging his people. Will true peace on earth prevail? All this what is taking place on earth, a lot of it is orchestrated to fulfill what I am about to share with you, the vision I had while preparing supper. It was so clear, crystal clear, it came into my mind in a split second, but felt like I was watching a movie for hours. I see Israel being attacked by Iran, I see the war with Russia, I see total chaos worldwide. I saw a great destruction, but then I saw how all the Abrahamic religions united on the backdrop of Israel being destroyed, and out of this destruction, I saw a single man rise up out of the dust. This world leader, organization, or what this person represented, is the one which will persecute the Christians. Out of this chaos we see happening, out of the ashes of Israel, I saw this figure rise up out of pyramid, the pyramid representing the three major religions. Then I saw the persecution of Christians who will not follow him or this ideology. Now I do not know if this will literally take place nor know what it means, but this is what I saw. I came across an interesting article a few months back about an old Jewish prophecy from the Ukraine region. It states that when the Jewish people see Russia invading Turkey, that the Jewish people should flee and go to Israel, because their Messiah will or is about to return, and I will come full circle with this. See, most Christians, 99% of universal doctrine pastors, do not know who is who in the Bible. You hear them talk about Magog, that Russia is Magog and is coming to invade Israel, yet few of these pastors know that Israel's population is made up of about 65% or more of Eastern Europeans. So Magog then is in Israel, and the entire banking system from the Italian Renaissance has been run by the Khazarians. The Khazarian Magog tribe in America, running finance, the banking system, is orchestrating these other nations to attack true Jacob Israel in the West in order for these prophecies to be fulfilled. See the dream vision about America, see what I was shown in that dream vision and where and how it fits into the prophecy I saw of Abidia. For those of you whose eyes are open, you will know what I am talking about, you will know. The flushing out of the Azov battalion in Ukraine is part of the plan. To get rid of these last remnants of this type of people, sending them into the meat grinder. That is why the average normie cannot understand how a Jewish president, which the Western media keep reminding us about, how could it be that he would support far-right people fighting for Ukraine? It's pretty simple when you know he knows, including his handlers, that he is sending them right where they belong for the grand strategy. See, true Jacob Israel trust in the Most High to fulfill prophecy, not so with those orchestrating these events. They believe they are entitled to these events and prophecies by way of orchestration. They think they can play with God's plans. Well, God does have a plan, it is not their intended plan, and they are being used by Satan. God told us when Jesus our Messiah was in the flesh, he told us, only Satan divides himself. The devil will deceive nations for his purpose to subvert the plans of the Most High. But we know, there are no plans that can stand before the Most High. That is what man planned with the lockdowns. He planned to enslave mankind. The angel of the Most High showed me, your chains will come undone, your century of bondage ended in March 2020. May that day be remembered for all eternity among the nation. May that month be a day of praise in the future when the nation looks back and realizes they were set free in the month of May 2020. Exactly as foretold by the angel of the Most High. May the future generations come to see, learn and worship the Most High on that month year after year for all eternity in remembrance of what the Most High have done. You may wonder, how can we discuss that now with everything going on? Have you not seen the dreams fulfilled? Have you not seen the seer's words fulfilled? Are you so unbelieving that you will wait for that day to appear before giving praise? No, I give praise now to the Most High. The century of bondage ended exactly in the month of March 2020. Most are blind, you who watch this channel and have witnessed these events. You will know, you see what is taking place with Russia, the famine and many of the things mentioned. March 2020 was the century of bondage coming undone, the chains are about to fall off. The timeline dream vision gave us an idea when this will happen, should all these events take place in Europe. Then it means between now and next year the chains will hit the ground and the nation will run into their freedom. When the chains first come undone, the nation will stand there as if they were still bound, much like someone who broke their arm and had it in a cast, and when the cast comes off, their arm is stiff. Because the nation has been in bondage for so long, when the chains first come undone, they will stand in the same position, not realizing they are free. When they are free, I saw the most amazing scene. I saw the person run into the sunset, and then I saw the nation, or the person representing the nation, morph into a gazelle, a springbok. Today the scene came to mind and I thought, how amazing that the symbol of the nation is the same symbol I saw when the chains hit the ground and they ran into their freedom. God put it into the person's mind who chose that emblem for us. Out of all these things, the thing which amazes me the most are the intellectuals in South Africa. All the intellectuals in South Africa, in politics, economics, education, you name it, these arrogant intellectual fools have been dead wrong about everything in South Africa. How anyone calls them experts, I have no idea. How can these half-baked intellectual fools be wrong about everything for 30 years and people still call them experts? Imagine going to a brain surgeon who for 30 years has killed 100% of his patients, but he tells you this time it will be different. He has a 100% failure track record, but somehow, now that you have arrived, he is going to do the job and get it right. This is what you are dealing with, arrogant half-baked liberal fools. The insight I had one morning drinking my coffee, I do not like it that sweet, I only have 1 or 2 sugars, no condensed milk or anything like that. While having my coffee the insight came to me. The spectre of terror which is going to come over the people, it's going to come over these liberals. It is the liberal who this fear panic is going to come over. It's amazing how all these nations have gotten themselves involved with Russia. With what takes place in Europe is going to see Australia and New Zealand, those distant colonies, be floating islands in the middle of Asia, easy pickings for the dragon. I told people that for years now, no one will believe it, no one can believe, no one believes anything until it is done. You will see in the end, every nation that had their hand against South Africa will pay the price. Not even mighty America will get away with it. Those who opposed us were opposed to God's laws. They can use their intellectual half-baked, democratic, universalist principles to argue all day long. Those are man's laws, man's concepts. Our Bible is not a book of equality as most of these half-baked pastors like to tell us. The Bible is an apartheid book. In order for God to use and choose Jacob Israel for his plan, he had to exclude all nations. The wheat will be separated from the tares, the goats from the sheep. It is man who tries to keep goats and mix them with sheep. When the seer, Sienna van Rensburg, told Mr. Boy Mussman that we will go through the furnace and that it will not matter where you are in the country, you will all go through it. It is not limited to South Africa. If you read between the lines, it takes place during the time of Europe's oppression. The two events take place at the same time. In other words, it is a judgment coming over earth. We are all sinners, make right with God. The word is going to go through the furnace. No one will be able to escape this judgment coming on earth. People can say what they like, call it what they like, everyone will go through the furnace in some way, shape or form. We hear reports about European countries, specifically the UK, now starting to show the first signs of what is to come in terms of the famine the seer spoke about. I began praying for Germany in late January or February. It was shortly after that we heard them sending weapons to Ukraine. When I woke up that morning I was thinking of that. I was going to tell you, then the thought came to me at the same time, well, if you tell them that, how would the people know about it? Then immediately the next thought came to my mind, the dream vision. When the fences go up in Europe, a new wave of migration hits, the German twins arrive. I am now praying for Germany. It will not be long before the great betrayal of Western secrets the seer spoke about takes place. I believe it will take place with what you see take place in Finland, and this is why Germany attacks them. I never could understand this prophecy of the seer of why Germany would attack them until about yesterday it hit me. Well, after what takes place in Finland, when the bear stands on its rear legs, when it shows its fangs, when it is now swiping, when it is now rolling in, the shock in Europe. The shock in America will lead to the great betrayal, and this is when Germany will attack. Horns will grow sharp soon, it will not be long now, all the signs are there. Those horns, when they come out, will be so sharp you will be shocked at how shocked the other side will be. Notice how in South Africa, the heathen always talk about colonialism. Notice how they always talk about the whites as invaders. Never, not once did you ever hear a former ANC president ever come out to speak about Samunye we are one, where is the rainbow nation. Not once did you ever hear of a king or chief talk about what is happening to the whites in South Africa. If a single white ever called for the slaughtering of blacks, but not for now, there would have been an outcry from whites in South Africa. They would have marched hand in hand with the black masses to put an end to such hate speech. It would have been on every single television news station around the world. In South Africa, total silence from the black tribes. That brings me back to a dream vision I had before I forget and before we continue on this train of thought. I had a vivid dream vision. The Zulu is going into war mode. I see them heading to Johannesburg to deal with the migrants, then I see the migrants fly from one location and land in another location, then I saw this is the glow of fire over Johannesburg. They no sooner land when they take off. Notice this will happen when the electricity is going out. I saw on the stage next to the Zulu king, our old Madala, oldish black leader. I do not want to say old, I might offend some of you on here, but he was about in his late 70s, 60s or 70s, probably older than what he appeared. He wore traditional Zulu gear. I saw him speaking on the stage, and at this stage, I saw the migrants had taken over Johannesburg and there was nothing the government or police could do. I suspect there will be more and more crime committed against ordinary South Africans. See, once more, it appears the Group Areas Act of South Africa that was called so racist, turns out that it protected black South Africans more than whites. Right now most black South Africans cannot even walk in many of these towns and city centers without being attacked, raped or chased away. So now they are foreigners in their own country. Who would have thought, again, oh how that evil racist old South Africa was, the new South Africa is so amazing, just go ask the liberals. Anyway, so getting back to what I was saying. Never once have we ever heard black organizations ever come out to say stop with the racism towards whites, no a king, not a chief. In fact, go look at the EFF, most of their members are children of ANC politicians. They are using their children to continue this fight against whites. They have made a commitment to chase the whites into the sea. This is and has been and will always be their plan. I find it interesting how they refer to whites as colonialists when the Bantu tribes are not from South Africa. They entered South Africa after the Europeans arrived. If the Bantu nations were truly committed to decolonizing South Africa, they would have split it off, but then they would not have been able to participate in their best sporting activity, stealing, breaking, destroying and pillaging. I saw a TikTok video of blacks saying whites ruled better, they want the whites back in power. It reminds me of the farmer who had a field, the pigs got into the field, they ate everything, when the farmer told them to stop, they chased him away. Now the pig is hungry, he is knocking on the door. Dear farmer, you need to plant some more corn, we are hungry, please feed us. The farmer says no, they burn his house, the farmer plants the field and they eat. In other words, all the farmer is good for is working for the pig to feed and get fat like a parasite. Well, I support them having white rule. It's very simple, you print a map of how to get to Sweden, Holland, Ireland, Britain, help them get to white-ruled countries. They will find much love there, lots of free things, lots of statues to break down. I know many people will not like to hear this, but it's simple, you need to stop being racist. You need to help them have white rule. Print the maps out, give them instructions on how to get to Europe. They can all live their Kalaji fantasy together. Europeans are idiots. The kindest thing you could do for them is to help them widen their balked-in-bread gene pool. When I traveled Europe, I was blown away by how ignorant and idiotic the people were. They are peasants with degrees and qualifications, they have no thinking. When I worked in Cape Town at one of the hotels, when we had guests come in, I kid you not, I am telling you with a straight face, Europeans and Americans would often ask me if there were tigers or lions that roamed nearby. I kid you not, you think those people are smart, the average European is a complete idiot. I think it has to do with the inbreeding on those isles and countries, so help Sifo or Lindeway get to Europe. They might actually improve the gene pool and be an aid and blessing to Europe. Never again, we are not their parents, we do not owe them anything. No one invited them to live in South Africa. During the darkest days of apartheid they never left, now they want to cry after breaking, destroying, pillaging South Africa for whites to rule. Rule for what? So that in 30 years' time we find ourselves in the same situation. I would rather hit my head with a hammer for the rest of my life than even entertain that. When the scales pop off the nation's eyes, when the nation wakes up through the great evil and events which take place, then only then will they realize. The Bantu nations invaded South Africa, they are not from South Africa. It is a historical fact. They want white rule, help them out, help them all get to Europe, our gift to Europe, and it's free of charge. After the fireworks in Europe, maybe the evolution process will be complete, and who knows, perhaps with all that new radiation from Russia it kick-starts the evolutionary brain cell process and they grow some brains. If you are looking for some prophet that walks on water or performs miracles, you are at the wrong channel. And with that said, get prepared. The month of May is not over yet. You saw how one day in February changed the course of events in Europe. The Americans are now talking openly about being at war with Russia, and Russia openly talking about being at war with NATO and Europe. When it goes off, it will go off quickly. Between now and December a lot can happen. Make sure you join groups, form groups, get to know your countrymen. I hope to one day be able to meet up with you all. I do not think it is long now before those horns become sharp. I am very, very glad Germany is now getting used to shipping their weapons. May they keep it up and may it become second nature to them. I shall pray for Germany. May you be blessed, may your families, loved ones be kept safe. May God be with you and may you call upon the Most High. I wish I could bring more positive news. I am an optimist by nature, but at the same time, a realist. The truth is, I was given the good news, I have shared the good news with you. The nation's century of bondage came to an end in March 2020. You dear nation and leaders were given the dream vision about the coming famine, and your chains will hit the ground. As these events begin to pick up pace, call upon the groups and the nation to come together and to call upon the Most High. Then you will all witness the awesome power of the Most High. You will see your chains hit the ground and you will run into your freedom. All the glory to the Most High. Praise God, the God of Jacob Israel. May the Almighty guide you, bless your families, and may you be kept safe during these dark days. I praise you, Almighty, and give glory and thanks for the dream visions. All the glory to God the Most High. Amen.